All right, should we just power through this and go through this, what I found to be a very funny Nick Fuentes rant on,
yeah.
When Nick goes into the topic of black people, there is no differentiating Nick Fuentes from like your racist uncle who just, like, you listen to him rant about black people and you go, look, you are vastly oversimplifying this. But goddamn if you're not being very entertaining, because every 13 seconds during your talk, I'm going, Jesus Christ.
What did he just say?
So that's how I kind of feel on Nick Fuentes when he starts going into black people, is I just go, Nick, you're really oversimplifying all this. I really don't totally agree with you, but I'm really here for the holy shit moments.
Show me on the doll where the black people went into you.
Well, now, in fairness, he lives near Chicago.
Okay.
So, I mean, Nick, let's go ahead and check out Nick Fuentes' latest rant, which is all over Twitter today, about blacks. Now, Johnny, one thing that Nick Fuentes does really well, I will give him credit for, is that he's always got attention-getting openers.
Okay.
Should we see if today is any different?
Sure.
White people are every single bit justified in being racist.
Well, Nick, batting 1,000.
Then I'd like to take said given racism to go, excuse me, sir, your name is Fuentes. Explain.
I will say this, Johnny. I felt you breathe a sigh of relief when Nick Fuentes told you that you're completely justified to be racist. It just really felt like,
Yeah, I thought up until now I was just a dick.
Yeah.
Every single bit justified, to the extent that that means going out of your way to avoid black people when you see them.
Duh.
I mean, Jesus, dude. I can't imagine that. Like, you see black people and you go, I'm going to avoid him simply because he's black. I don't think I could be that way. Now, look, if it was nighttime and I saw a band of black kids who were like acting hood as fuck, I'm like, yeah, look, I'm going to go ahead.
It's a risk assessment situation.
It's a risk. That's exactly what it is. It's not a racial identification system. It's a risk assessment system. For example, homeless meth head white guy. I'm steering clear and going somewhere.
That's a high risk too.
That's a high risk situation.
Every bit justified. And you want to know why? Because we see what happens. And nobody is under any obligation due to liberal ideology to put themselves in harm's way.
Nick got beat up a lot in school, didn't he?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But not for the reasons he's espousing right now.
If you're a white person and you're going to work or going to the ball game or going to the city at night, you don't want to enter into the Terror Dome.
I don't know, man. Like if I've got box seats, how much are those tickets?
Look out, man. Johnny's got ivermectin pretty soon. He'll be ready for the Terror Dome in no time.
Yeah, dude.
You're not. By the way, I also feel a little uncomfortable letting a Mexican named Fuentes tell me how I should feel as a white person.
Right?
It's a little weird.
Seems strange.
Where you're suddenly in a sudden death match. You're like in the gulag in Call of Duty fighting for your life all of a sudden because you got on the wrong train car.
First of all, stop riding the fucking train. There, you want my risk assessment? There you go. Stay off of public transportation.
It forces you to interact with the public.
Right. Don't do it. Just drive a car.
Because a car full of black people pulled up on you by the bus stop. You turn and you walk the other way. You avoid their neighborhoods. You avoid going out on Memorial Day or Labor Day weekend at night in certain places. When you see them, you start walking in the other direction.
This really is like, I understand, I empathize with him because he lives in Chicago.
Right, but
this is not everyone's reality.
And I feel like I understand what he's saying. I just feel like you said, he's oversimplifying. It's not like it's every single. No. It's specific groups and communities of these people,
Right.
that cause this problem, and they might be typically in urban, big city liberal areas, but still,
Look, we all know
it's not
what
like everywhere.
We all know what the crime stats are. We're not going to sit here and be, good white liberals and be like, "Oh, I'm going to pretend I don't know." We know that black inner city areas are very, very high crime areas compared to, say, the suburbs. Absolutely. But like living in this constant fear of black people, I don't think that's healthy either. Like, because if you live in that constant fear, haven't you already been defeated anyway?
Yeah, your life's probably vastly impeded by it.
I mean, just the simple act of walking past black people. I mean, the extent that I kind of play this game that Nick Fuentes is talking about is, I don't go into certain neighborhoods alone. But like a game day, walking through downtown Minneapolis before and after Vikings games, and it's me and a group of my buddies, I do not feel threatened in the least by anybody walking down the street.
Except Purple FTW.
He might grab my ass and try to thumb my sphincter. It's a complete difference. Might try to ask.
That's a win.
He might try to ask to see my cock, and like when I'm out walking like that, I'm not fluffed. I'm not ready to go. That's rude.
And we are every bit justified because we see what's going on and we don't want to die. It's that simple.
See, like, I don't ever want to be this frightened that I'm like, if I walk by a black person, I'm going to die. That seems a little extreme to me.
That's a bit much. Now I can understand, especially in Chicago, there might be certain places where you might feel that's a thing. Again,
steer clear a little bit,
That's pattern recognition. That's not racism. That's pattern recognition. That's one. And two, I really hope, because I'm rooting for black people. Like I'm rooting.
That's what this sounds like.
Dude, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard Nick Fuentes say. Is that I'm rooting for black. I mean, I guess I get what he's saying. Like, he wants the streets to be safer. He wants the black community to be less involved in crime and violence and stuff like that. It's just weird to hear Nick Fuentes go, I'm rooting for black people. It's like listening to a Southern person say, oh, bless your heart.
It's like listening to Benjamin Netanyahu saying, we're so sorry about those people we killed.
Kigger Niller with 199 says Fuentes should get an HRO against black people, right? Boy, those HROs against stalkers really bother you guys, don't they? They really trigger the shit out of you. You guys really have a hard time coping with, the toe doing the right things.
For humanity. I'm rooting for
Seethe, bitch.
Everybody to be safe and to be healthy and to be happy.
Nick Fuentes just wants peace among the races, Johnny.
Right. But apparently all of the black ones are bad.
Poor Nick Fuentes just can't find that racial harmony he's looking for. Why doesn't he just get the fuck to the suburbs? Like,
can he not afford it?
No, he can't bank. I don't know how he keeps money. I think.
Yeah, dude, how is he going to get a home loan?
He said he can't. He said in an interview that he mostly has crypto. That is pretty wild.
That's dangerous.
Really hope that somewhere out there, although I'm not optimistic, black people are starting to develop.
Oh boy.
Some sense of self-awareness.
This is what I mean by like your uncle. He's talking about tens of millions of black people. And he's just throwing all of these 40 or 50 million black people in the United States of America. They just don't have any self-awareness. Not one of them.
Look, I'm rooting for the black people. I want them to realize what godless heathens they are and to pick themselves up by their bootstraps and become, the good ones. Like, oh, Jesus.
Nick Fuentes, if you gave him a Southern accent and dropped him in the 30s, he'd be perfect. He'd right
fit
at home.
Right in.
Where's the shame? Aren't you people ashamed? When I see these clips of the graduation ceremonies where they're twerking on stage and dancing. When I see these videos of the black cheerleaders on the basketball court brawling it out, when I see the Carmelo Anthony, and not only that, but then they raise $500,000 for him and then they get a public defender. When I see that video of a black security guard rifling through the pockets of an unconscious white guy that got his ass kicked, and the list goes on.
But now, Nick's a smart guy, though. Does Nick not understand that shit's being put out there so we are scared of each other and we don't focus on the more bigger picture items that Nick is right on about, Israel and all that stuff? Like, he's too smart of a guy. This is what getting blinded by your own biases and hate does to you. Yeah, all of those videos are horseshit. All of those videos suck. All the people in those videos should be thrown in jail and we lock the door and throw away the key. I agree. But I'm not going to live my life in fear of black people because those videos exist, because that's the thing that the power structure wants me to focus on, so I don't focus on all this other shit we've been talking about today that fucks us over.
Like that Epstein list.
Like that Epstein list.
On and on and on. You have to ask the black people that are normally so proud, and with the chip on their shoulder, aren't you ashamed? Are you not ashamed when you see these things?
I think a lot of black people are, but I don't think, like, they're not in a place, like, they're not going to admit it to white people.
And more importantly, what does that change if they admit that to you? What does that alter? Nothing.
Right. It just makes you feel better, like you're right.
It's going up to somebody going, "Hey, would you like would you like to kick me in the gut?" Like, it doesn't help them. So why would they do it?
See, I told you they're violent. That's why you do it. Yeah. Anth Unhinged with $2 says Nick is right about 90% of the time. Look, I think Nick Fuentes is bold, and I think he tells a lot of hard truths. But I think when it comes to race, I think Nick comes at it from a scared perspective. I don't think he comes at it from a position of strength. I think he's very fearful.
Are there any black people that see this and have the slightest lick of self-awareness?
I think the vast majority of black people see shit like that and they go, oh, Jesus Christ, this is going to make us look like shit because the Nick Fuenteses of the world are going to tell people that this is all we do. They are embarrassed. They are worried. But we don't. But Nick, here's the problem. Why do you think the media shows you the cheerleaders brawling and the Carmelo Anthonys, and they don't show you the large number of black people who go, oh shit, they're acting a fool again. This is embarrassing for us. Because they want people like you to get your audience to be racist, to not like black people, so they'll fight with each other. So white people and black people don't realize, oh shit, we're being fucked over by the same people. The problems that you have and the problems that I have are very similar problems, and they're caused by the same people.
Very solvable if we just stop those fuckers, but no.
Right.
We're too busy.
Nick can be very detrimental to his own cause when he gets too deep into this shit.
But that's it. Is he playing this up, though, for this kind of attention? Does he know this?
No, I think he really does have a problem here. I think he really does have kind of an issue with those behaviors in the black community.
Common sense of decency to say, are you not ashamed to see these scenes play out over and over again?
Yes, I think
Where's
they are.
Where's the accountability? And this is where that word fatigue comes in. We're just tired of seeing it.
But here's the thing. So are they. And you know what the ones who are ashamed of it and the ones who are tired of it, you know what they do? They do the same thing I do or the same thing you do. They leave. They get away from it.
Right.
You know, Nick Fuentes wants those people to roll up their sleeves and go into those communities and clean them up. What's the first thing black people do when they get money? They go, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. These people are nuts. So, yeah, I mean, this idea that, like, I'm sorry, but I don't have to go into meth head white areas here in the Midwest.
Right.
I don't have to go into Ham Lake and go, I'm ashamed of you. I don't know. Oh, that is terrible. I'm just going to steer the fuck clear of you.
I'm looking at you, Waite Park.
I'm not going to Asteria